Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Dave with the Bass Channel, and I am wearing apparently the standard issue bassist hat style today. Overdrive, distortion, fuzz. We all love dirt on our bass signal, but sometimes you can't decide what kind you want. Do I want a fuzz on this part? Do I want a distortion on this part? And then once you decide what kind, then it's which pedal. How many thousands of fuzzes are out there for you to pick from? Today we're talking about the Boss OD-200. It's a digital modeling pedal that has overdrive, distortion, and fuzz models built in, and we're just going to check it out and see how it rides with bass. Now, this pedal in and of itself has a whole lot of features and a whole lot of things going on. So before we get into that, I'm just going to tell you about how this whole thing was recorded. Obviously, all of the direct tones that you're hearing were previously recorded direct into our wiretap. From that, we are reamping the tones through the OD-200, which we have blended with a clean low end via the Electro-Harmonix tri-parallel mixer. The clean blend from the tri-parallel mixer has the top end rolled off so that it's just clean low end, which we've combined with the OD-200's dirt signal. Now, we're going to talk about this a little bit later because, hey, this is a gear talk. We're just going to talk the real stuff. I kind of think that the OD-200 almost doesn't need a low end blend, but we'll let you decide for yourself with some sound samples a little bit later. The signal coming out of the OD-200 is going into an orange Terror Bass amp head, which has the EQ set flat. We're taking this is chopped up because this is a complex signal to recount, but we're taking the orange Terror Bass head signal and running that through a cab simulator of a Darkglass 210C cab, mic'd with a Shure Beta 52. So you may be asking yourselves, why the hell are these guys going through this giant complicated signal flow? Well, there's a couple reasons. Part of it is we're using the orange Terror Bass head because it's got tubes in it, and people love overdrive through tubes, right? The other part specifically is that we're using the Darkglass cab simulator instead of the real Darkglass cab. We've been using the Darkglass 410 cab that's actually mic'd with a Beta 52 since time immemorial, but right now we've discovered that we have a small neighbor situation, in which case, in the temporary space we're in, we've got a neighbor that doesn't super enjoy bass guitar too much. So we figured, let's use the cab simulator and the mic simulated on the cab simulator just to make it a little quieter for recording, shall we? P.S. Chris has extensively tested the Darkglass cab sim against the real Darkglass cabinet, and it came out identical. He couldn't tell which was which in a blind test. So I'm trusting his testing for this signal flow. All right, so this is the OD-200. It's got 12 different dirt models in it and a whole lot more than that. You've got an activatable boost that can either be clean or can stack another kind of distortion on the kind you're already using. You've got a noise gate in here with settable decay and threshold for each model. So how long it takes to clamp down and how hard it clamps down on your signal, also selectable. And you've got not only a what you see is what you get manual mode slot, but you also have 4 memory slots. So you can store your 4 favorite dirt sounds and have another one just on whatever the knobs are showing you on the face of the pedal. It's a lot. One mode that we didn't even scratch the surface of, didn't really even show, is the fact that you can run 2 dirts in parallel. So just to recap very quickly, there's a whole lot here. There's 12 different dirts you can run, and you can boost a second dirt into it or in parallel, or just a clean boost. So as you can see, there's kind of a lot going on here, but I will say this. I spent a couple days with it, spent a few days with it myself, just kind of learning it. Didn't even have a look at the manual, and I was programming presets fairly easy. You just hold the memory button until it blinks, and then pick a slot and hold it again until it blinks faster, and then it's stored. Now, personally, in my time with this pedal, I found that in the 3-band EQ section, the low-end knob is pretty good. It gives you a good amount of low end, almost not needing a blend. I'm not 100% sure, but I would think that in a pinch, this can do it all by itself. But we tested it. So check out this sound sample and you guys can decide for yourselves. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot going on in this pedal, and we are not here to tell you how to use it and to teach you every little nuance about it. I will say that you've got most of your pedals in here are recognizable, your OD-3, your Blues Driver, your Tube Screamer, DS1, DS1X, etc. Personally speaking, I loved the Fuzz model. I don't remember which fuzz pedal it models specifically, but I was A/Bing it against my Helix effects, and I could not get exactly the same kind of fuzz tone out of my Helix in all its various fuzz options that this does. And this, with its 3-band EQ again, it just sounds really nice, thick, corpulent. You know, I also like the Blues Driver and the DS1. Chris, on the other hand, Chris just wanted every clip to go through the DS1. It's a really good rendition of the DS1 circuit, and it just sounds nasty and corpulent on bass in a way that I don't even know if the original analog DS1 can. But it's been a while since I've tried that. I do know that when we were recording this, we just had a lot of fun running every riff through as many models as we could, and there was almost never a time when we couldn't find a model sound good with a given riff. We just kind of kept spinning the knob until, ooh, that's good. I'm going to run through the list of drive circuits real quick just to show you a little bit about what we're dealing with here. The distortion is basically the DS1. The X distortion is basically the DS1X. TK's stack drive. We think that's the Boss power stack. Fat distortion. Fat distortion just says it provides a thick distortion sound, but we're not sure exactly which one. Brown, there's one that's brown, which is most likely trying to mimic Eric Clapton's brown sound. Is it? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it depends. There's two. Because Clapton had the brown tone.
No, Clapton's was the woman tone.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
position,
true.
Treble,
I've always been saying that. Oh.
Yeah, EVH brown sound is always the...
Oops, sorry, my mistake. And we can leave that in, I don't give a shit. It's fine. Sorry, brown, there's one called brown that gives the brown sound that Chris has informed me is a big Eddie Van Halen thing. I've never been a big Van Halen fan, so I didn't know that.
You must have browned out for that.
I must have browned out for that. Nice. All right, X-Metal. X-Metal is, probably metalcore, right? Yes, so X-Metal is probably the metalcore. Fuzz doesn't say, it says it sounds similar to a Big Muff, but I don't think so exactly. The Overdrive is essentially the OD-3. Blues is the Blues Driver, everybody's favorite. Even for bass. Bass likes the Blues Driver a lot. Scream being the tube screamer. The CNT, the Center OD model, is the Klon Centaur. X-Drive is probably the OD-3X or whichever X pedal. All of the X pedals are the newer Boss MDP-based pedals. So I believe that that's what that is. And that, I believe, we have gone through all of them. this is a lot of pedal, and you can probably find 4 sounds in it that you like enough to store into the preset settings. And it's, in that way, really versatile. If you want to mess with the whole boost thing, then you kind of have to switch on the fly between switching between manual mode and presets versus turning on and off the boost with the right-hand switch. But again, it just adds to more stuff that you can do with this pedal. And I'm going to keep talking even though the dogs are playing because it's just hilarious. Yes, okay. Okay, anybody want to see the bass channel studio dogs? This is Sunnison. This is Sunny. The other one is the Gooch. So together they are, of course, Sunny and the Gooch. 105.7. Top-mounted jacks. So it's fairly compact. It's about 1.5 Boss pedals worth of real estate. It's got top jacks. One is input, one is output, and one is control 1, control 2 / expression. So I'm assuming there's a few different ways that you can use that control jack. And of course it takes your standard 9-volt DC in. The package includes 4 AA batteries if you don't feel like putting an adapter into it. But I have no idea how long 4 AA's will last. Hey boss, everything else uses 9-volt batteries, if any batteries at all. So why the AA's, guys? If your parents still have cable TV, you might be able to get some AA's out of their remote control. I don't know what else to say about that. Chris, you want to just yell some random stuff from off camera?
I remember reading on the website that the circuits themselves of the distortions are analog. It's like a analog heart with a digital brain.
Oh, it's a digital controlled analog circuitry in here? Oh, so it's not all digital modeling. That is my mistake. Apparently this is all analog circuitry controlled by digital pots. So that is a cool thing that I didn't... There's so much to this pedal that I didn't know going into it, and I'm still learning things now after playing with it for a few days and shooting it. So, yeah, so if you want a nice fun way to spend a weekend with your bass, this pedal is not too bad. Thank you for joining us for another Gear Talk. We had a lot of fun recording this. We had a lot of fun playing with this pedal. And hey, stay tuned for the next Gear Talk that's coming up. We don't know yet what it's going to be or when it's going to be, but it will probably also be a good time. I'm Dave from the Bass Channel. This is Dave's flat-brimmed hat, and we'll see you next time.